Privyet. My husband asked me to show some of the viewers how to make homemade mac and cheese. In America, we kind of have a cheating thing. It's boxed macaroni and cheese, which actually is pretty good. Some kids prefer it. So it's dry noodles, and then inside there would be like a packet of cheese, dried cheese sauce, and then you add some other things to it. But today we're going to learn how to make it from scratch, which I think anybody could do anywhere if you can just figure out the right kind of cheese. This is the packet that would come in dry, and then you would have some noodles. So let's get started on our homemade. So what we have here is 2 cups of cheese. I have a little over 2 cups of dry, hard macaroni noodles. You really could use any type of noodle that you'd like. I've used large noodles, small noodles, doesn't really matter. 1/4 cup of flour. I use about 1/2 teaspoon of both garlic salt and seasoned salt. Seasoned salt is a mix of different spices or herbs. You'd kind of have to look it up. I'm not even exactly sure what's in it, but it has good flavor. So 1/2 teaspoon or so of each of those. 4 tablespoons of butter, which is 1/2 stick. And then 2 cups of milk. It can be whole milk, 2% milk, whatever you'd prefer. And so let's get started. What I have is a large stock pot, and I have filled it about 3/4 full of water. And then I'm just going to add probably about a tablespoon of salt. Salting your water makes pasta taste better. Then we're going to bring that to a boil, and we're going to boil our pasta for about 8 to 9 minutes or until it's tender. Then we'll drain it and add it to our pan. I'm putting our butter in our saucepan, and I'm going to put it on a lower heat and let that melt. Once the butter melts, we're going to add our flour and whisk it to make what we call a roux. Once it's mixed and we cook it for about a minute, we're going to add our milk, and I'll show you how it goes when we get to that point. I just wanted to talk about the type of cheese that we use mostly for macaroni and cheese. Some of us do cheddar, and I like sharp cheddar. I don't have an equivalent to a cheese in Russia. It's tangy, but it's not what we call a stinky cheese, so it's not a blue cheese type. It's a hard yellow cheese. It can be white, but our name for it is cheddar, sharp cheddar. You really can try any cheese that you prefer. You just need about 2 good cups of it, and you need it shredded. Just wanted to show you that the water is boiling. We're going to dump our noodles in. I turn mine down just a tad, and we're going to let those, like I said, boil for about 8 to 9 minutes until tender. Now we're going to go over to our cheese sauce, as that is about ready here. So as you can see, our butter is melted nicely. I'm going to add the flour. I'm going to sprinkle it over the top, and then take your whisk, and you want to smooth it out the best that you can. You see down here? Okay. Now I'm going to let it cook for just about a minute or so at a little bit higher temp, just so it won't taste like flour. So bring it up to a little bit higher heat and cook it for a minute or 2. Not burning, but just cook out the flour flavor. Okay, looks good. Now we're going to gently add in our 2 cups of milk, whole milk, 2%. I wouldn't go any less than 2%. A little bit of milk fat is good. And now we're just going to keep stirring this. You really can't leave this so that your milk will scald. So I have this about medium-high, and I'm pretty much going to consistently stir it until it gets very hot and starts to thicken. Once it thickens, I'm going to add in the seasoning and the cheese. I'm going to take it off the heat and do that though, and then I will show you how that goes. Okay, just wanted to show you that we've gotten quite a bit thicker. If you look, you can see the consistency of it here. It's like a thick gravy. We're basically ready to add the cheese and seasoning, so we're going to move to a different location. Okay, we're all set to add our spices. It's nice and thick, so there's our seasoned salt, our garlic salt, and I've taken it off the heat because you don't want to add the cheese on a hot flame or burner. And I'm just going to keep whisking the cheese in here until it's nice and smooth, and then our cheese sauce is ready to go for our noodles. It's really very easy. You could even add more than one cheese. You could do 2 different kinds of cheeses, whatever your family would like. This is 3 of my kids' favorite food. I'm just going to keep stirring here, melting all of that cheese beautifully. You can see the nice yellow color. Now I actually really like sharp white cheddar as well, so whatever. Okay, this is the cheese sauce. You can see the consistency. It's all ready to go. We're just going to let this sit for a minute until we get our noodles drained, and then I'll combine them and you can see them. So this is the noodles. They have been cooked and I've drained them in the sink to take the hot water off. I'm just going to pour them in my pan here. And I think I probably needed a few more noodles, but that's okay. They'll be extra cheesy. And here is our sauce. And you basically just stir it around. You of course can do it in a bowl to keep your dish in better shape. And this is homemade mac and cheese. Some people, when it's all finished, usually a larger noodle probably, they like to do a crumbled topping on it. So you could do breadcrumbs with a little bit of butter baked in the oven. You can add more noodles, obviously, to make it less cheesy. Totally your preference. I usually add a few more noodles, truthfully, but these are kind of small. So, but it's extremely good, and I hope you enjoy.